Hey guys, welcome to your Twin Flame Collective reading. So let's see what the collective is dealing with and will be dealing with. Let's see what energies are coming the collective's way. Let's see what's going on for the collective. Okay, not taking jumpers. Okay. Whew. All right. Interesting energy. And on the bottom of the deck we do have the Queen of Wands, which has a really lovely cat. Just felt called to point that out. So some of you could have a redhead kitten in your life. Let's see the clarifiers before we dive in any deeper. Let's see the clarifiers for the collective, please. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And we have the Magician on the bottom of the deck. Okay. So, we have a little bit of mirroring here with the Nine of Wands. And interestingly enough, we have the Emperor and the Empress on the table. So, pretty harmonious energies here in the dynamics I am tapping into right now. Pretty harmonious, pretty sort of balanced energies between the divine counterparts involved in this connection. Now, we are coming in from a place of defensiveness, I would say. So, guarded. Spirit is giving me the symbol for guarded. So it feels to me like one of you, or maybe even both of you, have been dealing with this energy of fear, in a way. Fear to try something new, fear to activate a higher level of commitment in your connection, fear of embracing your authentic self, perhaps your gifts, your traits, your skills, your calling in some cases. So there has been a feeling here of reluctance. And what I'm liking about that is the fact that yes, there has been defensiveness. Yes, there has been reluctance. But at the very same time, there has been emotional growth. There has been mental, intellectual, psychological growth. So while there is an energy of being defensive and reluctant, it's not the energy of becoming entirely closed off and fully retreating or rejecting your true nature, your calling, the nature of your bond. And as a result of that, I'm seeing a very I'm gonna say a very deep-seated feeling of acceptance coming from the inside out into your world, into your soul, and into your connection, into your dynamic. We are going to take a clearer look here at the Divine Feminine and Masculine, but because I have the Emperor and the Empress on the table, right now as it looks, it does seem like the Emperor is a little bit ahead here on the journey of self-acceptance, at the very least. It may not mean the acceptance of the flame calling at the same time, because there's layers, if you'd like, to this level of spiritual growth that you go through as twin flames. So here there is the level of acceptance of yourself happening, and that's of course the root of all progress in the end on your journey. But as I was saying, it's kind of like peeling layers of an onion, right? So the core of it is your self-acceptance as a twin flame, and as you accept yourself more and more and more, that acceptance comes closer to the 3D and actually manifests as the acceptance of what it means to be yourself, meaning what it means to be a twin flame, and that activates the connection at a higher frequency. So right now we have more of a self-work, self-love, self-acceptance level happening, and there is still a little bit of reluctance here in surrendering to your destiny, or fully embracing what that means, because what I'm feeling here is that Spirit is actually giving me the mental image of someone who has prepared a party. So you've scheduled entertainment, you've scheduled catering, you booked a venue, you sent out invitations. So there's a whole thing planned. You have a preconceived or a pre-made idea of how this is gonna look, right? So this is what we're gonna eat. These are the flower arrangements I've gotten. This is the band. So this is what I'm gonna see. This is what I'm gonna hear. This is what I'm gonna eat. This is how I'm gonna look. This is how everyone else is going to look. Here is what we're gonna do. Here is what we're not gonna do. Here is what we're gonna prevent. So it's a very mapped out, planned sort of libretto of the whole thing, right? And that's the mindset you or your counterpart are coming in with. So a very 3D practical, secured in mental images, organization, scheduled plans, things mapped out, right? So it's kind of like your roadmap to the chaos of life, if you'd like. And that's kind of the mindset I feel you're coming in here with. But the nature of surrendering to your twin flame journey is actually the art of letting go of the details and actually focusing on the core truth of what's going on. So that's not to say that the 3D steps of the journey are not important, because you are leading a 3D life. So every step of the way is important in the 3D. There is no doubt about that. But at the same time, part of this journey is to understand that the true progress, the true purpose of your connection is not what's happening in the 3D. The 3D is a very, if you'd like, it's a minimal aspect of the whole pie, right? It's a very thin slice, if you'd like, of the whole pie of what's going on your journey. And there's a reluctance to surrender to that journey because while you can map out this small slice of your 3D life, you cannot map out your entire destiny. There is simply no way to do that. Embracing your destiny means by default surrendering to what comes to you, not imposing how things are going to look when they come your way. So when you're manifesting, for instance, you do by essence try to give a format to what's meant to come your way, right? So let's just take a minor example. You are meant to be blessed on an energetic level, on a higher frequency level. You are meant to be blessed, right? In the 3D, you try to map out that blessing by giving it a frame of reference. So I would like my blessings to come in the form of, let's say, a fulfilling relationship, or a fulfilling career, or a raise, or, you know, you're trying to give the higher dimensional energy, which is abstract, if you'd like, and by its very definition, highly flexible, because energy doesn't come into blocks, right? Energy is a frequency. So when you're manifesting, you're trying to kind of channel part of that frequency and direct it towards something you want to see happening in your 3D experience. So this is kind of the same idea where in the 3D you are trying to give a particular shape to your experience because that's what you'd like to see happening. That's what you desire, that's what you want, that's what you long for. But the core of what's going on is not this slice we're seeing in the 3D, it's the higher frequency of everything. And there's a reluctance to welcome, if you'd like, this level of the unknown. There's a reluctance to embrace this level of the unknown. And as a result of that, it may feel like some of the things you've worked hard to plan for, or to schedule, or to give a frame of reference to, you may feel like you have to make some tough choices and give up on some of those preconceived ideas. But Spirit is leading me very clearly to explain that while you may be giving up on the frame of reference you were trying to build, that doesn't mean that you are giving up or that you are missing out on the blessing in itself. Okay? So if you have the blessing coming your way, whether you give it a particular frame of reference or not, and if it's not coming in the way you wanted to see it come in precisely that way, then it is coming your way. But it's simply going to mean that you'll have to give up on some of these expectations, because there's a set of expectations here, and this is not coming from me on a personal level, because we live a 3D experience. Everything has a clear shape or structure or organization, and I really love that, right, about the 3D life. So I'm all for that. But Spirit is giving me the message that this is a spiritual journey, and what's happening in the abstract levels, if you'd like, sometimes may not come as a concrete shape that you were hoping for. But that doesn't mean that the shape you are seeing cancels or affects what's going on the higher level. In fact, this is a very so Spirit is giving me the mental image of a cake, right? So when you're seeing a cake from the outside, you are not seeing the layers inside the cake, you are seeing what's on the outside, right? So the frosting, the decorations, the pretty form, the height, the width, the, you know, all of that. So you are seeing an outside, if you'd like, view of that cake. When you are experiencing it, you cut into it, you see the layers, and then you experience it, you eat it, right? And then once you've eaten it, it doesn't really make much of a difference anymore how it looked, because what you are experiencing is a different layer to that, a higher, if you'd like, a more abstract experience of it. Once you are eating it, yes, you still see where you took the bite from, but you're experiencing it very differently than you were when you were looking at how exactly it presents, how it looks. So this is the message Spirit is giving me here. It may not look like what you were hoping for or what you were imagining it to be, but the experience is what it should have been, meaning it has all of the ingredients. It has what it was meant to have in it. So it's the right recipe, if you'd like, but it may come in a different package. For some reason, that's what Spirit is giving me. And it is progress, even though you feel like you may be giving up on your expectations of how it should look or how it should present. The recipe, the ingredients, the point of the experience is still there. It's just a different presentation. So that was interesting. Let's hear the advice from Spirit here on that. And that mental image really left me with a hankering for cake. Okay. Let's hear advice from Spirit in the situation. Of course, trust. And on the bottom of the deck, we do have the sacral chakra. Interesting. So divine feminine energy, which does play into that idea of experiencing senses, right? How things look, feel. So the advice from Spirit here is pretty straightforward. Trust your destiny, trust your journey, trust the process. Even if it doesn't look like what you were hoping for or thinking of or wishing for, you have to trust your spiritual perception, your spiritual experience of it. And if it's what it was meant to be, if it feels right on an intuitive spiritual level, then it's what it's meant to happen. It's how it's meant to happen. And it may not look the way we were hoping for or wishing for or dreaming of, but it's not about how it looks. And sometimes it's not about how it feels right now. It's more about the bigger picture of what I'm feeling now and how that influences my progress and your progress and our progress, right? As a union, as a joint set of desires, hopes, dreams. So trust in the process and trust in your bond, because it is pulling the ingredients together. It is baking the cake. It may not look the way you are hoping for right now, but that doesn't mean that you are not getting what you are meant to be getting. In no shape or form. You are for sure going to achieve what you are meant to achieve. There's no doubt about it, and you have to trust that. You have to trust your ability to do that. And just experience the steps instead of pressuring yourself or your bond to look a particular way or evolve, for instance, at a particular pace, or try to focus more on embracing what's happening and growing as a result of that, as opposed to trying to come up with a frame, a mental picture, and trying to impose that on the experience, right? So you are meant to experience the journey, not try to organize if you'd like the journey, right? That's the message Spirit is giving me, which is giving me anxiety as I'm relaying it. So it's very likely that you feel very anxious about not having things clear, not being sure about what's going on, but Spirit is calling for you to tap into your intuition and trust your divine essence, your flame soul, and trust the fact that you are truly, literally born to make progress on this journey, and you are doing that every step of the way, even if it may not look like it or feel like it sometimes. But your intuition is guiding you towards making progress. So trust that. Whew, heavy energy with that anxiety. Okay, so in the extended, we are going to take a look at how these energies play out for the divine feminine and masculine specifically. I hope you will join me there. If not, I'm sending you my highest vibes of unconditional love and support, and we'll be seeing you soon, okay? Bye.